Waikiki, which is, of course, right next door.
Stephanie, it just occurs to me that I may have misinterpreted this. I said Arena Cove, California, Crescent City, California. Maybe that's Canada. It just says CA on this. It would make more sense that it's Canada, I guess.
Any insight, Guy?
I don't think it would reach all the way to California.
It would.
Maybe
yeah, it
would.
would.
Okay.
It would.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm unclear on that, but just so you know, give you everything we've got here. So we have 6 buoys now that essentially have picked up the energy from this, and it's all about a foot or under a foot. The question is, how does that translate by the time it makes it across to Hawaii? Guy?
Well, it's just like a swell. When we track swells, there's open ocean swells, and the bottom contour of the ocean in any particular place will actually determine the actual size of that surge coming in. So it's going to be different for every single island, but it's obviously in relation to where the most energy is going to hit. At this point, it looks like Maui and then the Big Island, and then to some extent the rest of the state as well. Looks like we're awaiting a word from our mayor, Peter Carlisle, and we'll go live there.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Kiahi and Stephanie here at Hawaii News Now. You're live on TV right now. Can you hear us?
I think they're still trying to mic him up and prepare him, but it's good to know that he is standing by to give us the latest there from the Fosse building.
They're going to get him an earpiece so he can hear questions.
Yep.
If somebody's there, if our reporter is there, you could just ask him to start with a summary of... No, we're told we do. If our cameraman could just ask him to go ahead and start giving us the summary, we can listen in. Okay, they're going to work on that for a
Yeah,
second.
we're going to work on that. But, Guy, when we talk about the rate of speed in which the tsunami wave is traveling, talk more about that.
Okay, now imagine we've all ridden on giant airplanes to and from the mainland. A tsunami would travel just as fast, some 400 miles an hour in the open ocean. So imagine how quick that is. You're talking from Canada to here. It takes us about 5 hours, about 6 hours to get from Honolulu to, say, Vancouver. So the tsunami is going to travel just as fast. So you got that much water moving that quickly. But like I said, on this scale, it doesn't look like it's going to be a huge wave, but it's still going to be big enough to cause probably some damage along the coast. And if you're in the wrong place, it could probably kill you. So the main thing is we want everybody to heed the warnings now and then worry about it tomorrow, about overreacting. Because I think what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get everybody the most up-to-date information that we can. At this point, we're asking everybody along the coast to evacuate as soon as you can. And if you have other coastal interests, make sure you take care of that. Look like Keoki Kerr is over there right now. We'll go to Keoki, and he's talking to Mayor Peter Carlisle. Keoki?
That's right. I'm here with Mayor Peter Carlisle at the city's Emergency Operating Center, where people are standing by and getting ready for this potential tsunami. And the mayor is here to give us an update live, sir.
Well, obviously, the most important thing is because we have a fairly short window, we're expecting the wave. The estimate is about somewhere between 10:20 and 10:30. We need people who are in coastal areas or in tsunami evacuation zones to get out now. There should be people from the police department who are in the area, first responders, who are telling you to get out. Listen to them. Treat this as if it's a significant incident. It very well could be. It could be extremely destructive. We know that already. So it's important for us to make absolutely unequivocally sure that they're doing those instructions. We can give you a couple of other things that you need to know. Take precautionary measures with water. They're turning off the water systems because they're afraid of them being over-impacted on some of the neighbor islands. We do not want that to happen. We want people to conserve water now. 2, if you are in a high zone, if you're in high ground, do not go out. Do not depart from where you are. Stay there, and that way you will not impede anybody who's trying to get away from a coastal zone to higher ground. So if you're at high ground, remain there. Do not go out and get more gas. Do not go out and get one more bottle of water. You need to basically to be able to stay there, and we want you to remain there. And while it looks like most of the energy is coming from the north, the answer is it can still wrap around. So you should very, very quickly not no matter where you are, you should take precautions.
What's happening with city bus service?
The city bus service at 9:30, we will cease the city bus service into Waikiki. So it will not be occurring from that point on. We have observers now in other locations all the way up until 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, then they withdraw. So we will expect everybody to be in a safe place by 10 o'clock, which is what they absolutely unequivocally need to do. You should not be on the roads. You should not be in a gas line. You should not be at the grocery store. You should have gotten that all out of the way now. And if you haven't gotten away, you're too late.
Now, I know some of the neighbor islands, I know I was hearing on Maui, for instance, they are shutting down preventive, some sewer and water service, but we are not doing that on Oahu. Explain what happens on Oahu.
We're trying not to do that. It could be a potential, but we're asking everybody to conserve water now. So do not be filling up bathtubs. Do not be doing those types of things. What we want to do is make absolutely unequivocally sure that we are in a position where we will have the water and we can continue those services.
Okay. What else do you want to get across to folks as they're nervous and we're just a little more than an hour away from a potential impact?
You know, absolutely unequivocally. There's no reason to panic, but there's every reason to take all of the necessary precautions. Number one, if you are on high ground, again, stay there, okay? If you are in a coastal zone, get out. Do not sit there and say, oh, well, maybe it is going to happen, maybe it's not going to happen. We've gone through this before. Do not go and get yourself in grocery store lines, in gas lines. Those things are not helpful. We're too close a window at this. This is not some time where we have 6 hours. We have a very, very short window, and everything needs to have to be completely shut down by 10 o'clock, and we will not get to that place if people are actually out clogging the roads.
Thank you very much, Mayor Peter Carlisle. Thanks for your time, and we
pleasure.
look forward to talking with you as the night progresses here with some updates.
I hope at some point we'll have good news.
Yes,
and we
can all go home and relax, right?
So, yes,
okay.
and I was thinking actually of going surfing in the morning. Stay away from the water for days from now. It's not safe.
Okay? That's right. So Mayor won't be there, and he recommends for the rest of you folks, don't go surfing tomorrow either. Okay.
Stay out of the water.
All right.
Keoki, is it possible we could ask the mayor one more question?
Sure. Can we have him a second? Can we have him back a second? I want to, in the meantime, though, he ran back inside. Now, this is the Emergency Operating Center. This is where all of the representatives from different city departments, there's EMS, there's the wastewater department, police, fire, and so on, are responding to things that are going on right now. And I can get him to come back out here and ask him some questions.
He's a busy guy.
In just a second. Let him do his thing. He's a busy man right now. I was only going to ask him, in the absence of new information at the moment, we have a little bit of a breathing time here. What we've learned from the past 2 tsunami warnings that we've all gone through together, and how the response may have changed. Perhaps later when he comes out, you might get more on that. And of course, we're going to be going to a lot more through the night, Keoki. You're our first live shot set up. Thanks so much for getting in there, and we'll catch up with you later.
Yes, and we'll be talking with you with a number of different city officials. They'll be coming out here and giving us updates about their different areas of response and responsibility. So we look forward to talking with you folks a lot. As you can see, they're all inside this room where they're watching our live coverage, watching feeds from state civil defense and across the state, and are in touch with all of their crews and their operating centers. I see Wayne Yoshioka, who's in charge of our city bus fleet, for instance. That's a critical link in an emergency, and so on. And I'll be back shortly. As soon as I can set another interview up, we'll come back and chat with you folks.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Keoki. I just got this in. Honolulu Airport is open. It is not planning on closing. It's going to stay open as of now.
All right, that's good to know. Very important information that the Honolulu mayor talked about is not to clog the roadways, but we are already seeing sure signs of that. We're going to show that to you in just a bit, but first let's turn things over to Guy.
Okay, again, Steph, let's go over what we know. What we know is a series of earthquakes, big ones, happened earlier today from this morning, with the biggest one happening at 5:04 Hawaii Standard Time, magnitude 7.7. Big enough for us to issue a tsunami warning. So what does that mean? Well, 5 o'clock, and these are the tsunami travel times from that area, 3 hours to here, inside of 6 hours for us here in Hawaii. So that's why the travel time, the arrival time is expected at 10:28 tonight. And it's going to affect every island differently, mostly because of the reefs around and its proximity to the generation of the quake, of the tsunami. So it could hit Hanalei, it could even get into Nawiliwili Harbor over there on Kauai with varying amounts of size. Now, here in Oahu, we will likely see most of the action come into the windward side, Kaneohe Bay, maybe even to Lanika and Kailua, And then it could wrap around as well. It always has that effect, that weird kind of thing where the energy wraps around the island. And over on Maui, it looks like Kahului Harbor is in direct line to the energy coming in. But then again, it could wrap around into Ma'alaya, and who knows, maybe even on the windward side as well. Now, over in the Big Island, they're expecting most of the action to come into the Hilo side, down to Honoka'a. And then again, like the last tsunami, nowhere is safe, so they could see something down along that side as well. And this is the area, Captain Cook, Kealakekua, that got the brunt of the last tsunami, washed a couple houses into the ocean as well as some cars, and who knows, anything can happen. So again, evacuate if you're along coastal areas, and if you're on coastal areas, and if you're high ground or in a condo up above 4 floors, you don't have to worry about it. Don't move. Kiahi, back to you.
All right, thanks, Guy. We're just getting word that emergency management services, the folks who drive the ambulances and fire trucks, are tweeting for people to stay out of the traffic. Right. They're having a hard time getting through the gridlock.
Yeah, that's another reason not to clog the roadways, because we want to leave them clear for the first responders. And just as the mayor said, if you are already on high ground, stay on high ground. Don't head outside to go fill up gas. Don't go to the store to pick up another bottled water. Just stay put.
Well, we have a live truck on the way out to EVA, to the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, Fort Island. And we already have our intrepid reporter, Steve Uehara, staying up late tonight. Steve, on the phone there, what do you know?
Hey, Kiahi. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say, as I drove out through here and I heard Ramsey talking about the insane traffic, a lot of people are trying to make an exodus out towards town. If you are in that traffic and if you're listening, tune into AM 1500. I know you mentioned the social